Welcome back to the Lovers4Ever YouTube channel. My name's Christine, and today we're going to talk about when the person who ghosted you comes back. So, if you've ever experienced being ghosted by someone and then a few weeks later they return, and many times they act like nothing ever happened, this is the real interesting thing about sometimes the how people act when they return from ghosting. They just act as if nothing ever happened, or they might say, my favorite is always, hey stranger, like it was my fault that they haven't heard from me, after they had just made it clear that they didn't want to talk to me anymore. So what do you do? This kind of behavior can be confusing and manipulative, and so we're going to talk about what to do about it. So when the ghoster comes back, don't be in a big hurry to respond. Give yourself the space to feel whatever you're feeling before you react or respond. Now, for me, whenever this happened, it sort of just started slowly killing off whatever interest I had in the person. So after the second or third time, I would usually just stop responding because it was always through text messaging, right? That's low investment dating behavior. So if he started texting me with something like, hey stranger, what's going on? I would just usually ignore them. And so sometimes, when you ignore people like this, it just makes them want to work harder to get your attention. But you kind of have to hold your position and don't engage with them because eventually they will get the idea and move on. But you got to get to this point first, right, where you're just sick to death of this kind of behavior. So take your time in reflecting on how the ghosting made you feel and what kind of realizations did you have after the person disappeared. So not only would I notice that I was no longer interested, I would just sort of start paying more attention to the things that were not going to work for me, deal breakers, things I didn't like about the person, but I was too busy in the rush of feeling the excitement and sort of making this person something out to be something they weren't. So if that happens to you, it's important to reflect and lean back a little bit and think about your response before you want to engage again. The next one is ask the person who ghosted why you haven't heard from them. So this is kind of rough in dating because a lot of men don't like direct confrontation. So I just read this from another dating coach, which is that much of our dating rituals are based in biology and they're not really based in anything conscious, and so the things that we think are the most direct, like initiating conversation, like asking people to just level with us and be straight and be honest, that doesn't work. So you can ask them if they have a good excuse, but I think there's a balance here. So if this is, just the first time they've ghosted you, you can just kind of casually be like, yeah, I haven't, I didn't hear back from you when I called or texted, what's been going on? And use this as an opportunity to set some boundaries about this kind of behavior. And you can just say, well, it's not cool. And if it happens again, like I'm out, set some boundaries. You can try communicating your needs if you give the other person a chance and being open and honest about how the ghosting affected you and what you need from them to rebuild that trust. But if it's early in a relationship, it may be too much to expect very much from them. I think a lot of men believe that if you've only been out on like 3 or 4 dates, that they don't really owe you an explanation about their behaviors. And so, you can ask and use it as an opportunity to set boundaries, but the thing is if you have to ask about their behavior, you probably already know the answer. Ultimately, it's important to you to trust your own instincts, and if you decide whether or not to give the person another chance, don't be afraid to walk away from the situation if you feel uncomfortable or uneasy. And also, if you notice that this is a pattern or you find yourself really emotionally attached too soon or too early and ghosting just really sort of disrupts your life, it's a good idea to get some help. So relationship coach Brian Gormley is here to support you and work through these patterns of ghosting. It is absolutely possible to shift your dating life to find someone who wants a future with you instead of people who waste your time with their ghosting behavior. So I'd invite you to click through the link in the description box and contact Coach Gormley for a session or two to iron out some things in this pattern. My name's Christine. Thanks for listening. I'm thrilled you joined us. I hope this added value, and I'll see you in the next video.